can go in now, Mr. Treherne.
How is he?
More comfortable now, but he's lost a lot of blood, you know. Don't stay too long, will you?
You look pretty.
What's the idea? What's going on?
Comfortable, they said.
Now, don't come the old innocent with me. What am I doing in a private room? Why aren't I in the public ward?
I thought you'd be a disruptive influence.
Now, look, Johnny, I'm not going to have this. I'm not going to have you wasting your money on me.
Now, let me tell you something, Fred. You're weak, you're down, and you're weak. And in this world, the weak get trampled on, so you're staying right where you are, and you're going to like it.
I'll make the move to a public ward in the morning.
Oh, no, you won't. They've been fixed. They took money.
Well, you should have done it. But thank you.
Can you tell me what happened? A little, not to tire yourself.
Well, I was up in your office, fooling about with the chessboard, when a couple of men came in, wearing stocking masks. They wanted the key for the filing cabinet. One of them tried to get it out of me with a knife. And the next thing I remember is waking up very briefly in the ambulance.
Would you recognize him?
The one with the knife, yes. I managed to claw the mask off his face before he kicked me unconscious.
You're a young chap. A red-faced, long sideburns.
Yes.
Yeah, he could be the one who did this.
Did they get what they were after?
Yes.
What was it?
A file of the case my father was working on when he was killed.
What's that?
Hot milk. You need some sleep. Drink it slowly.
I'll come tomorrow.
Yeah, did you get my note about Inspector Scott?
Oh, yeah. We'll make a detective of you yet.
How is he?
He's going to be all right.
Good. You forgot to tell me what happened.
No, I did not forget, Mr. Scott.
What did happen?
A pair of villains broke into my office.
What were they after?
A file.
They did it?
They did.
File of what?
I had Fred check up on you.
Sensible.
He rang the Long Mile station. They said you weren't known there.
I'm not.
Perhaps you're not Inspector Scott. I see, you're incognito.
Let's say we don't advertise our presence.
Well, you make a good job of it.
Change your mind about the case.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I'd do it for laughs.
They offer you bribes, throw pretty women at you, carve you with a knife. Nothing moves you until they attack your seedy old chess-playing buddy. Strange thing, human nature. Who's that?
Candy Hassett.
A dead man's daughter?
Yes.
How does she feature in this? A client or what? Just a minute. You've got my number. Ring it if you've anything to report. Next time, don't hang about.
Who's that?
The law.
What's he want?
Someone to talk to. He's lonely.
What you wanted?
Is there a duplicate?
Weren't in the cabinet. I did what you said. Turned the old place over while we was at it.
Let's have that knife.
What knife?
A new one. Come on, let's have it. We get it back when it's needed.
Here are the honors voting for the second place on tonight's card.
Can I ask you a question?
Help us out.
What are we doing here?
Working. You wait for me here. Evening, Mr. Blackler. The name's Treherne.
Detective agency?
That's right.
Well, if it's about your bill.
It isn't.
You didn't send money, and I mean to say, if you can't be bothered to send money...
It's
and you
not
can't
about the bill.
This toilet's public, you know. It's for the convenience of the patrons.
Ah, they're placing their bets. Look, you went to my father. You asked him to get you free of the protection you were paying.
That was 2 years ago, mate. History. They don't operate no more.
The syndicate moved out, huh?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they got nicked. Maybe they saw the light. Who knows? Who cares? I don't pay anymore, so... Now, look. I never said I wasn't going to pay your bill. I never said that, and I didn't.
Who do you pay the protection to? Who do you pay to?
I told you they don't operate. What's the matter with you?
I've gone mad. You want my opinion? Getting a busted arm isn't worth it.
All right. Vicious, aren't we?
Nah, I'm just showing off. You tell me what I want or go away.
I don't know who I pay to. What are you going to do about that one? You got an arm lock for that, have you? I do not know who I pay protection to.
Of course, you're the village idiot.
Oh, now, look, Mr. Treherne, where have you been? This protection, Lark, it's big stuff. It's big, it's modern, it's thought out. These people, they're businessmen. Maybe they got a bank of computers. I don't know anything.
An invisible man shoots an invisible sleep dart into you and takes you what?
No. They've got a series of pickup points. Parked car, bus stop, telephone booth. You make the drop, you don't get to see anybody.
Who tells you where to make the drop?
A voice on a telephone.
Ever tried to trace it?
That's what I went to your father about.
The day after you went to him, you know what happened.
No, look.
He was knocked down and killed.
But I've got nothing to do with that. What are you trying to say? I mean, I said, why should I? I went to him to get myself off the hook. I want to pay protection.
When do you make the next drop?
I don't know until that voice tells me.
Well, when it does, I'll come with you.
Oh, no. No. I'll do anything else. Anything I can to help. Anything. Not that.
Do what you can.
My father was paying protection too.
In a place like this, anyone in the tourist trade's vulnerable.
Sidwell?
Yes, Sidwell.
What, like Chicago? The St. Valentine's Day Massacre? In Sidwell?
Now, maybe the cleverest part of the whole thing. No one believes it. Can't happen here.
And my father came to you to get him off the hook?
Obviously.
But this crime syndicate's got it so marvellously buttoned up that he dropped dead before he could get the words out.
That was fortuitous. His heart was on the blink. He'd nerved himself up to the decision to come and see me about it, and that did fine.
Very convenient for the syndicate.
All right, so you don't believe me, but they're facts. The dog track pays protection. There was a regular unexplained leakage from your father's bank account.
You only have Candy's word for that.
Well, try this, then. Right after your father's death, but immediately after it, I'm got at. You remember, I'm the only person in the whole world who knows for a fact that your father had that heart attack before he could tell me what he came to see me about. So, they offer me bribes. 2 thugs bust into my office and take a file. You know what that file dealt with?
No.
My father's last case. An investigation into the protection racket in Sidwell.
Excuse me. You are the manager, aren't you?
Well, temporarily. What can I do for you?
My name is Savage.
Oh, yes, I know. You've only just joined us, haven't you? Look, let me get you a drink.
No, thank you. Could I have a word in your ear? The girl who dances, does she live here?
No, yes, she does.
I rather thought she did. I notice she wears a wedding ring.
She's a widow.
I see. Mr.
Stratton.
I'd very much like to talk to her. I am very keen, a great lover of the ballet. I go to Covent Garden every time, make a special point. And I'd like her to know, to tell her, how much I admire the way she does it. You know, it could so easily be distasteful. But she manages so beautifully, I think, to make it artistic. I really mean that. And I'd like to tell her.
You've picked the right moment. Come and be introduced.
Speak for first, Mrs. Stratton, would you? There is a certain sensibility, so easy to be misunderstood, you know.
Of course. Candy, you have a fan. Bashful.
Who is he?
Can you remember? Bashful, as I say, but also low.
What's that supposed to mean?
You like the look of him? He's a lover of the dance, you know. Makes special trips to Covent Garden in support of the Bolshoi.
What does he want?
He'd like to talk. Chat you up about the dance.
All right.
In camera. I told you, he's shy. That frozen virgin bit's all right. Fine. Good gimmick. Add spice to what you do on the platform, but don't give it to me, please. I'm not one of those buckets, remember?
If the man wants to talk to me, all right. At the bar.
I told you, he's shy. Also, he owns an electronics factory. You know, I don't follow your reasoning. You peel in public, why not in private?
Is it an explanation of my moral position that you want?
Your husband was into me for £10,000 when he died. So you have no moral position till it's paid off.
I see. Well, that's plain enough, isn't it?
Electronics factory, properly handled, should improve your moral position, not worsen it, if you follow me.
I follow you.
So?
Send him up in 2 minutes.
Now you're talking.
Yes, Mr. Stratton.
I'll have a brandy, please, Victor. A double.
Liquor?
Why not? I've just made a contribution to the credit squeeze.
Oh. Compton Manor Country Club. Oh, 1 minute, please. It's for you.
Oh. Stratton? Yes? You sure about this? Yes, I see. Yeah, of course. Leave it with me. Victor.
Yes, Mr. Stratton.
I want to make a private call, and I don't want to do it upstairs.
I'll switch you through to the booth.
Thank you.
Gordon, I'm acting for the Chamber of Commerce in this.
Yes, I understand that.
It was agreed that he should have an advance of 100. That was arranged by the Chamber.
And he accepted?
Of course.
Now, why is he still working on the Hassett case? Look, I've just had it from a reliable source that he's been to the dog track and talked to Blacklock.
I don't understand this. He told me he was going to close down that detective agency immediately. As you know, he got me to sound you out about taking it over.
Well, someone or something made him change his mind.
That doesn't make sense to me. We made a very good offer, you know. $4,000 a year in expenses. He doesn't make anything like that as a private eye, does he?
As of this moment, Seymour, he makes precisely nothing as a private eye. Nobody's paying him.
Well, nobody works for nothing.
This, apparently, is an idealist we're talking about.
Anyone in here?
It's okay.
I can't stay long. May I have one of those? Thank you.
Plenty to give. Is Stratton in the club tonight?
Yes, but he doesn't know I'm seeing you. I used the phone in my room and slipped down the back stairs.
He seems to have moved in on you.
Paul owed him 10,000 or so, he says. He's running things until it's paid back.
You agreed?
What else could I do?
Well, he could have put the club into bankruptcy if he can prove the debt. Might be better than having him on your back.
It'd be infinitely better. But I don't think it would work.
Why not?
It's not easy to put into words, but I have a strong feeling that if I tried to get rid of him, however legally, he wouldn't hesitate to use violence.
Oh.
It isn't only because of the money. I seem to bring out something rather nasty in him. Do you know?
Yeah, I know.
He made a special point about my not having anything to do with you. He told me to get rid of you if you came round again.
How are you supposed to do that?
I'm a striptease artist, Mr. Treherne. I'm supposed to be able to make a man do anything.
The point is this, Gordon. I don't think I can hold them off much longer.
But they have to have a reason, don't they?
They have a reason.
That this place is being run as a whorehouse.
You're still missing the point. I'm not acting as a principal in this. I am purely and simply an instrument of the Chamber of Commerce.
You, an instrument?
My sphere of activity is confined to making a report. Now, they may not act on that necessarily. In fact, and this is off the record, I've a very shrewd idea they've made up their minds already.
To close us up?
I know you've got money tied up. You've got to take a knock. I'd help you if I could.
But I can appeal it, can't I? I mean, take them to court to show reason.
Yes, Gordon, you could do that.
But you don't think it's such a good idea?
Well, let me put it this way. Personally, I should be very sorry to see you closed up. I'm on the side of common morality, of course, but not plain wooden-headed bigotry.
Which is what this is.
Gordon, it isn't gossip that's going to get you closed up.
What is it, then?
One person, or rather the attitude of one person.
Mrs. Hassett?
Right.
Oh. Am I reading you right, Seymour?
Well, if you're offering a service to the public, the first thing you have to learn to do is to get along with people. I mean, that's rudimentary, isn't it?
And Mrs. Hassett doesn't do this.
She doesn't get along with the right people. Now, are you reading me?
I think so.
You got any influence with her?
£10,000 worth.
Then use it.
I will.
And while you're at it, impress upon her that it wouldn't be in her interest if there was an inquiry into her husband's death.
In other words, keep her away from Johnny Treherne.
If you want to stay open.
Will you do it?
Well, you're giving me the whole picture. So far, you've only given teasing little glimpses. I don't see you in it. I mean, you're shadowy, contradictory.
Applies to everyone, doesn't it?
Yeah, but to you more vividly than most. Look, you tell me you were in love with your husband.
I was.
The night after his death, you were up there taking your clothes off.
What do you want?
An explanation. Well, it doesn't have to be the truth, you know, just something I can accept.
Well, let's see what I can do.
Stratton was right.
What?
You wouldn't have to work hard to persuade me.
The striptease started as a joke between Paul and me. All right, so he had a twisted sense of humor by conventional standards, but that's the way he was.
That's the way he was.
He wasn't a serious-minded person. He concerned himself with the decoration of things, not their substance. You'd have thought him a trivial person.
Oh, of course, I'm a goddamn prig.
I didn't mean that.
Look, I'll accept it. He wanted to be married to a stripper. It's a basic urge in a lot of men, only not many of them will admit it. I'll buy it, Mrs. Hassett. I'll buy it. When you went up on that platform while he was still in the mortuary, you were doing a sort of camp requiem, and he would have enjoyed it.
Richly.
And now we come to good old Gordy Stratton. He's a whiz businessman. He's one of the best in these parts. I do assure you, he knows the fine edges of a pound note that you've never even heard of. You have to live off this club, don't you?
Yes.
And Stratton's far more capable of making it pay, and pay well, than you are. Or your husband ever was. Would you agree?
Certainly. And I know where this is leading. Why have I turned on Stratton? Why am I sinking my teeth into the hand that feeds me?
Yeah, why are you?
I'll tell you. We have a new member at the club. Grey-haired, shy, and the owner of an electronics factory. Tonight he went to Stratton after I'd done my act and asked him whether he could be fixed up.
This is the first time?
Surely not.
No, it's happened before. Quite a lot of people take the point of view that if a woman's prepared to take her clothes off in public, she'll do it in private, for a consideration. Stratton takes it a step farther than that, though. If I'm to pay off my debt to him, I must supplement my income.
What happened?
He sent the electronics factory up to my room.
That's the end of Stratton.
It was then that I phoned you.
You mentioned a piece of concrete evidence.
I did, and I have it with me. But I'd like to ask you something first.
Fair enough.
Why did you come here?
Why am I trying to find out what was behind your husband's death?
Yes,
You said he was being blackmailed.
he was.
No. It was protection money. There's a syndicate here in Sidwell. Your husband was one of their victims, one of many.
And you want to smash that syndicate.
I'd like to help put it out of business, yes.
Why?
Because that syndicate had my father killed 2 years ago. Now do I get the evidence?
Yes.
What is it?
A tape recording. Paul took it off a phone call he had telling him when and where to make his next payment.
So you already knew. Where'd you get it?
It came back with his effects from the hospital.
He had it on him when he came to see me.
He'd have given it to you if he hadn't had the heart attack. Now you must go quickly.
Oh, look, Mrs. Hassett, if you don't want to go back, you can come with me. Fred Creech's in hospital. You can have my bed. I'll have his.
Thanks.
You'd be safer.
I know, but I promised I'd go back.
Stratton?
No. The electronics factory.
Thanks.